Alright, so we've got some invisible heretic circle jerking around my dudes. Not cool. Not cool, bro. And we got caught. Alright, so we got the 3 Space Marines versus 5 Chaos on the harder setting. Going with a basic build order that I always use, which is Scout Marine, Servitor, and then another Scout Marine. Have the first Servitor work on a barracks, and then have the Scout Marines get the next points as close as possible, and have that second Servitor work on the barracks as well. Basically, I'm going to fight over the strategic points, try to capture as many as I can. Early game is usually just squabbing over those, but I'll fast forward a little bit. So we got a decent army now, and we are fending off their attacks, trying to hold on and grind up, try to tech up, arm my guys as best as possible. My allies have already taken out one of the other computers, which is great. So they just basically 2 versus 1'd them, bum rushed them, destroyed their base. I've just been basically trying to hold on because I keep getting attacked by 2 of the computers simultaneously. So repelling their attacks is pretty critical at this point. Just holding on. So I've fended off about 3 waves already. Most of my guys have plasma, at least a lot of them do. I don't have many rocket launchers, if any, just a few actually, and that will be the downfall at this point. Once the chaos gets defilers, if you don't have significant anti-armor, you are done for. Your Marines will get chopped up. You're just going to end up falling back constantly, and if you don't have that firing line going, it's over. So at this point, this sector is basically compromised, and I end up having to abandon it completely, fight down to the last man, just trying to avoid the army from turning towards my base, because I didn't have anything in my base to protect against, a couple defilers. And at this point, if you see 2 of them, you're probably going to see, 5 or 6 within the next minute or so. And just for laughs, this is my brilliant last stand. Trying to save this area. As you can see, it fails pretty horribly. And I end up focusing on my base, trying to muster up some kind of defense. Which, in my mind, at this point in the game, I feel is highly unlikely, which you can see. Couple of squads, and a force commander and a chaplain is not going to cut it when you've got 2 full-fledged armies against you. So at this point I know my base is compromised, and I use my forces to distract, and you can see I'm trying to use the servitor to escape. Ooh, he got away. And this is where we start again, my friend. I sneak this guy away, and I decide I'm going to bet on Ultramarines. So I'm going to set up shop. I basically abandoned my main base. Let's go. Alright, let's go. Alright, I'm broke as hell, and I need to get some resources. I'm going to pull off some epic swoop moves right here. Pull off a lick on the salamanders. They're going to go ahead and take out the ops. I'm going to swoop in and take those points and the resources. At this point in the game, I'm basically going to be fighting over these 2 points for like 15 minutes, just grinding up, teching up through the entire tech tree. I kid you not, from the ground up, starting off with one servitor goon. Epic. So my allies, the Ultramarines specifically, they have a baller army. They got the Land Raider, they got, check out this Dreadnought being a boss. Yeah, they have a huge army, but they're literally doing nothing with it. They're going back and forth between two empty fields. They have an enemy that is almost dead, but not quite. And that enemy continues to pump out defilers, and that is probably the most successful unit of this entire game, is definitely the enemy's defilers. They have broken multiple armies, both myself and my allies. So at this point, I basically am trying not to get wrecked, trying to accumulate resources, and this is what we end up with. Big boys, the Termies, the Terminators, realize that my allies are not going to deal the death blow that we need, and we just cannot continue to take these losses, because we have, less than half of the map at this point in terms of the strategic points, so our resources are minimal at best. So I decide I need to do what Space Marines do best, and that is going in deep. So I'm going to go balls deep on these guys. And I've got the Terminators all up in the barracks, ready to teleport, and then I have a Dreadnought and a tactical squad loaded completely, all with bazookas. So these fools came stepping to my crib. Had to show them what's up. Back in your hole. Doing some probing so I can get in deep. Here we go. Terminators taking on that defiler bastard. And hit him directly with that orbital strike as soon as I can. Got the Soul Terminators working on their defenses. At this point, if they don't have more than that defiler, they are done. Got the rest of the boys coming in. Got the Dreadnought doing his thing. And I try to focus on the defenses first, because those tend to whittle you down, and if you don't have that last extra push, you can end up just leaving them with one or two buildings, and then that whole, deep strike was totally unnecessary. It only works if you pull it off 100% completely, otherwise it's, complete failure. But at this point, they have nothing that they can muster against my forces, and a bunch of Terminators knocking on your door. It's basically it. So this is one of them down. Gonna load it up and get ready for the next one. And I leave you with the final masterpiece, the final deep strike, that final thrust into Chaos's foul behind. And here we go.
Mission accomplished.